What is up, my people? I feel like one of my kids turned off a switch, which reminds me, Rachel, when you get a chance, can you figure out what Bea turned off? And we can, oh, you know what? Is this it? I literally just think I figured this out. And then if somebody could go flip that light on over there, that would be really great to have this side of me back to normal. Yo, it is time for slime, you guys. Welcome. Dandy Brago, I feel like your name is something else in real life. But you've mixed up the letters in order to go onto YouTube. So welcome everybody who is watching through Tixer Play. I just had someone at Tixer confirm that it is viewable in Tixer Play and everything should be good. Somebody texted me a screenshot. Let's see what they said. Yes, it's working in Tixer Play. It is working in Tixer Play. That is fantastic. If anybody's watching in Tixer Play, if you can let me know, confirm to me that the comments work, I'm super hyped to have solved the Tixer Play issues. I might as well take my headset off. It looks goofy when I'm not actually using it for the phone. It's covering up my donut lit. There it is. There's my donut lit shirt. Esdeath, I just turned the light on. Esdeath. She looks great. I bet it's the angle. Yeah. All right, cool. Man, I'm hype. I am freaking hype. Let's see what we got. The hype does continue. It does continue. Welcome back, Tacky Corgi. I appreciate all of you for hanging out with us. Boys and girls. Ladies and gents, that looks like a Yoko body pillow. And I can't tell which character's in the background or what's on your shirt. Looks like a coffee cup, an angry coffee cup. There's a whole series of angry food. At conventions, we usually have an angry ramen shirt, and then what is the other one? Oh, the taco, the Godzilla taco. That is a sick shirt. Esther, I'm really sad that I didn't get a chance to talk to you. Esther, if you want, I'll have to look at the schedule to see if you have another time booked. But on the 26th, you guys, the 26th, we're actually going to put Rachel on stream. We're going to do Rachel Kelly and Lance Conrad. Those are the two authors over at Colorworld. Lance Conrad writes a series of books called the Historian series. The first one is, I almost want to say the Sorcerer's Stone, but that's not it. Gosh, I'm going to have to look that up. Lance Conrad, you can Google that, is The Price of Creation is the first book in that series. Price of Nobility, Price of Loyalty, Price of Survival, The Weight of Swords. Super, super cool. It started out as our rival at almost said Silicon Valley Comic Con. Wrong state. It's in Utah. Salt Lake Comic Con, which is now FanX. Esther, my day is super ultra ridiculous. Lockie, where are you? So I'll say that. There's your shout out, but also where are you at? Lockie missed his hangout this morning, and since then the world has blown up. And we've been trying to find Lockie. Has anyone seen that? What was that? Hashtag, was it Alan, whose grandmother was watching during the live stream of the protest, and his grandmother couldn't find him? Who was that, Rachel? That was awesome. So we're going to start a find where's Lockie hashtag so we can find him somewhere on the internet. It is slime time. It is slime time. I'm waiting for my guest to appear because thanks to Lockie, we are behind. Yes, that is the perfect placement of our Ice Queen as Death. All right. Yay, Olivia. What is up? Thank you. I wore this for you, Jeff. I think Rachel has her donut lit shirt on as well.
Kristen should be here too.
Who was did you send Kristen a text to let her know to jump right into the panel? Hello, Trayvon. What's up, homie? Oh, Brooks, thanks for joining us. Thank you. Yo, Kenny Biddle. That is a disturbing picture of your eyeball on the screen, Kenny, for your emoji. Yes! Chase, I'm so hyped. The Tixer play. I'm excited. We've been trying to get that to work. Mostly it's all my fault. Media avail. There's a lot of like blanks I have to fill out. I had to figure out how to work it.
Okay.
I thought that was you, Chad. I thought that was you. And Chad, what is your profile picture? It looks like a Lego man and walking his dog. That's what it looks like. We are shirt twinsies. Shirt twinsies. Dude, Michael, very good to see you again. Very good to see you again. Guys, let me show you what we're working on. We just sent these live. So now I can talk about them. I'm going to share my screen on a particular window. Dude, check this out, you guys. So the story behind this, let's get a bigger one up on screen so you guys can see it. Yes, I love this color. This is called Team Navy. It's a gorgeous color of shirt. Think navy blue, but with like a hint of purple in it. It's actually spectacular.
I feel like this is shopping.
So Brittney Karbowski had her Facebook page stolen. I mean, like legit, somebody like hijacked her Facebook page and stole it, and then she couldn't convince Facebook that she was herself. She had to start a Facebook account for her real self, and her nickname in high school was B-Nubs Carbo. So ever since she told me this story, I thought, like, wouldn't it be cool if we did like a nub, like the top of a baby bottle, and a carbo, and bread is a carbohydrate. And so I've been kicking around this idea forever, promising Brittney that I would get it done. But I am proud to announce it's donut lit because I finally got this collection done. It's up on her page right now. It comes in all sorts of cool colors. The B-Nubs Carbo logo looked really cool on heathers. So pretty much everything in this collection is a heather. So just because, can you check those forms, Rachel, on the tickets to make sure shirt size and color is attached to? Okay, that's not good. I'm going to see if I can't get that done. Once Alicia is freed up, we're going to make sure that the size and the color. So, yeah, these are available, and it even looks awesome on the heathered hoodies. I'm excited. That's also obviously a very rough mock-up because technically you can't see the like string on the hoodie, like the neck string, the hood string is like behind the art.
Alicia said she did create the form.
So I know, but I need you to double check that the form is attached to. It's Brittney and B-Nubs Carbo for both size and color. Yeah, Alicia's doing it. She's on it like Blue Bonnet, which is an ice cream. I think it is. It says, tell her she's in the private VIP. Tell her she went to the wrong panel. Kristen went to the wrong panel. We're going to get Kristen to the correct place on the internet. So there's the brand new B-Nubs Carbo. Okay, tell me that you guys do not think every time you hear Brittney in an anime, tell me that this is not what you think. Come on, let's be honest. And so it brings to mind that old album cover from Britney Spears where Gimme More is on the album. And the first line of the song Gimme More is, it's Brittney, bitch. And so I had Eric create this. That's actually a photo of Brittney Karbowski. And then obviously Britney Spears and Brittney Karbowski spell their names differently. I think there's only one T in Britney Spears's. I don't know how to say that correctly. But in the less famous Brittney, that one's for you, Brittney. The other Brittney has not enough T's in her name. So these are brand new. These are now available in, if you go back to Tixer and check out the Brittney, the It's Brittney collection and the B-Nubs Carbo. So
you need to resend the link to Kristen. She says she's clicked on free panel twice.
Okay. I'm going to send it. Give me just a sec, you guys. Invite, copy to clipboard, Dun, 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 dun. Tell her, give me just a second. It's incoming now. Boom and boom. Okay, and text Brittney. Text Brittney and Kristen.
You should send that to Brittney too.
I did, but tell them it's in there. And then what was the other way? All right, I'm gonna go edit this, and then I'm gonna swap out. I'm gonna swap this out. Thank you everyone for your patience. Woo, woo. And I changed the calendar. New link. New link. Send. Bam. Okay. Awesome. Yeah. Don't cut her until she's ready because Caleb is international. It's like from Australia. Okay. Bam. Okay. Okay. So Breezy 360. When you said, oh, it is because we were talking about your shirt and the other stuff in your room, dude. Ruben, I am great. It is good to see you, my friend.
Sending her backstage.
Sweet. Tell her to go backstage so I can see her. How's everybody doing? You. Right. Yes. Welcome to the program. Welcome to the program.
Yay, technology.
I know, right? Oh, man.
I'm clicking on it. It just keeps sending me to a void.
No, you're good. You're good. It was me. What happened was I went in to check something to make sure that Tixer Play had the right link so that people could watch through Tixer Play like on their phone. And I accidentally went live. Instead of clicked return to broadcast studio, I clicked go live. And then it wouldn't allow me to edit the details of the panel. And so I had to recreate it from scratch.
Oh, okay. I was like, I'm doing what you told me to.
No, it's all me. The fault is 100% here.
Okay, I'll accept it.
Yeah, no, it's totally on me. Yeah. Have you seen that Godzilla taco shirt, Kristen?
No. What are we talking about?
Let me see if I can find that Godzilla taco shirt. It is magical. It is like a bunch of tacos and a nacho on a bridge. And it is a very, let's see, Godzilla. Because somebody was wearing like an angry food shirt. And so that got me talking about like the Godzilla taco and the angry bowl of ramen. There's like a whole series of angry food.
I used to have a crab apple plushie. And he's all crabby and angry looking. Like, I love him. I love his grumpy face.
That sounds magical. Oh, Brittney's coming now. Oh, man. I just typed in Godzilla taco on bridge, and it looks like there's a Dr. Pepper commercial from 1984 of Godzilla holding. Okay. This might need to be. We might need to. This is from 1984. All right. Let's check this out. Screen share. I did not know this existed, so we might just find some magic right here.
All right. I'm ready.
All right. Let's see it. Godzilla Dr. Pepper commercial 1984. Let's check it out.
We must stop Godzilla before he destroys the city. Oh, what could he want? Unless we find something to appease him.
But what?
He just blew up the lemonade. That's the best.
Where did they get that giant Dr. Pepper from on such short notice?
Oh my gosh, that is crazy. Have you ever seen that before?
No, it came out before I was born.
I have. Am I here? Oh, did she?
Is she also in the wrong chat?
I think she is. Tell her to click on the email. Although I did update the one in the calendar. Tell her no, she's not there. She's on the wrong place on the internet. So Mike, I think I got to episode 9 of Gamers. Kristen, holy cow. So first of all, somebody said that you were an artist in Artist Alley.
Yes.
Okay. Tell me about your journey. from Artist Alley to becoming a voice actor? Because Rachel was like, "Have you heard this yet?" She was moderating one of your hangouts.
I fell through a magical hole in the floor, and it dropped me into the Funimation studio. And I was like, "What the crap? I'm a voice actor now." No, I'm just kidding. That's not how it went down. So
Everyone's like, "Which convention is that? I'm going there right now."
It was like a sewage thing. It was terrible. It was like Narnia, but not. No, so I always wanted to be a comic book artist, and you've seen some of my art at conventions. And that was like my big dream in life. I was like, I'm gonna be a famous comic book artist. And so I self-published a comic about unicorns that turned into hot dudes. And I was selling it at Artist Alley, and I was making like new chapters, so I'd come back like every year. So I was like building up a fan base of like fellow unicorn hot dude lovers. And the Anime Fest was like, hey, we really like your work, and we feel like you're really personable, because sometimes artists can be very shy, but I am not. And so they were like, would you like to be a guest and talk about like self-publishing comics and stuff like that? And I was like, yeah, I'm down. And so there's my bestie.
Finally, I had the wrong link. Sorry.
I did too. Don't feel bad. But so I was selling these comics and stuff, and I met a voice actor. His name was Bruce Lewis. He was also a comic book artist, and we talked, and he was like, hey, he was like, you're really good at this, and blah blah blah, and much like most people, I was like, hey, voice acting, that sounds so cool. Like, how do you get into that? Because you haven't heard that question a million times.
Never.
And he was like, I just kind of fell into it, and he's like, do you have acting experience? I'm like, yeah, like not to brag, but I was Toto in The Wizard of Oz. And he was like, well, you should just try it for Funimation. And so I was like, all right, I will. And so I emailed Funimation. I Googled how to voice act for Funimation. And I was like, it's
like Godzilla.
I was like, Dr. Pepper. So I sent them an email, and I was like, dear Funimation, I would like to try out for your open auditions. And this is my range. And I don't have a demo, but I can bark like a dog. Thanks, bye. And so I didn't hear anything for 5 months, and I was like, fair, I wouldn't hire me either.
Yeah.
And then out of the blue one day, they were like, oh, hi, would you like to come in and do open auditions? And I was like, why, yes, that would be lovely. Let me add you onto my schedule. And then I was like, holy crap, I don't know anything about voice acting. What do I do? And so I went to the Google, and I Googled how to be a voice actor, and I read everything I could about it. And I practiced reading out loud by reading manga for 2 weeks. Fun story. You'll think this is funny, Brittany. So you go in, you do the open audition. They have this thing called sides, and you pick characters from the sides to read for. And on open auditions, it's characters that are already cast. And so I was like, let me read for this girl named Yamada from Yamada's First Time.
Best anime ever.
So I've never even seen Yamada. So Joel McDonald's like, so this is about a girl that wants to bang 1,000 dudes. And I was like, oh my God. I was like, okay, cool. And I got it. And so I read it or whatever. And I was like, I laughed, and I was like, that was cool, but I'll probably never ever hear back from them. And then 2 weeks later, I was working on Haganai Next. And then I was like, maybe I should watch Yamada's First Time. And so I did. And that was the first time I heard Brittany's acting.
What did you think of Yamada's First Time? It honestly, I thought
it was hilarious.
Yeah.
I thought it was so realistic, about teenage love.
Yes.
I was like, this is so real.
Mm-hmm.
And it's funny because when I saw Tendo and Gamers, I was like, I don't know why, but I just feel like Brittany would be a really good fit for this character. And I looking back on it now, it's because Tendo reminds me of Yamada.
Yay!
I love Tendo.
She fails at life. I call Gamers the Car Tendo fails at life anime.
A lot of people call it Miscommunications, the anime.
Yes, that is legit.
Oh,
I still remember my favorite part of recording with you on that. Well, I actually just loved recording with you on that the whole time. But do you remember when we got to go over and over again on the montage scene?
Yes.
We went a few times. It was a good experience. It was very fun. It was a good time. That is her montage of her failing at life.
Yeah, like it starts off as her like so perfect, and she's like, "I'm just like the perfect girl, and I wake up at the crack of dawn, and I run 2 miles, and I
And then
do
she
my
falls.
homework, and then I build houses for poor people, and then I."
She's like, yeah, she's just failing all over the place. And I'm like, I can relate. I can relate to all of this.
Oh, it was so good.
I will say, Brittney, when you told me "O Maiden" in my set, "O Maidens" in thy second season, because you recommended on the panel, and you're like, if you like this, then you should. I will.
More slice of life and less comedy.
Is that what slice is? That does that qualify as? To me, it was like, man, that anime's serious. It was like, yeah, I guess that would. So it's the
slice of life.
Okay, it's
It's like a heavy version without the comedy, but it deals with similar issues in a similar time period. And if you're really into like a coming of age story.
Yes. And I was excited that
my dog. Sorry.
It was really interesting to watch. I mean, man, you know, as a teacher, like I don't know what the right way to like that teacher just tried to do such a good job not destroying that girl's confidence, but then like he was like, look, it's not really you, but like you have to understand that I know that you can't see like how wrong what you want to do is, but like I need you as a person to survive this experience. Like it was really, there's a lot in, yeah. And I was like, when they kidnapped their teacher and then like nobody cared.
Yeah, no one cared. I was like, this is totally not like our country because
as someone who hasn't watched this show, I'm just like, and then when they kidnap the teacher, like,
oh well, I don't want to spoil it now.
I'll have to watch it now.
Oh, you definitely should. Savage is a good word for that anime. It is.
Yeah, it's like if Yamada's first time wasn't a comedy, but was dealing with the same types of things, but you know, all the way across the board, and it's girls in a book club. And it's each of their individual experiences with dealing with that, with the same thing, but it's very serious. It's like, heavy.
Sure. Yeah, it is definitely heavy. But there was no like, I guess I framed it so wrong in my head. I was like, where are the train whistles? The trains from Bloom Into You? Where's the hijinks from Yamada's first time? I'm like, I was told.
Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes slice of life is just really real.
Yeah, it doesn't give you those relief moments for sure.
I directed a show called Skiga Kide. I co-directed it with Sunny, and then about halfway through the series, I took over it completely because Sunny had to move on to a project. But Skiga Kide is, I call it the most realistic romance anime of all time. And it doesn't end with anyone getting hit by a truck. So... good news. That's like a thing in anime, right? Where
I feel
like,
you. That's fair.
Everything's so great, and then they got hit by a train or a truck or a car or something. But it's very realistic. I wrote it too, and I had to write like some of the conversations are so real. It's like at one point there are 2 families having dinner at the same time, and in the background you hear somebody be like, you hear a dad talking to his daughter, and he's like, I think I'll get a beer and a water. And she's like, I thought you weren't made of money. And he's like, it's my money. If I want a drink, I'll get a drink. And like, this is conversations like I heard growing up. You know what I mean? It's one of those more serious slice of life shows, but it's also like one of my most favorite shows I've ever worked on.
And then what was the name of it? I'm going to put it in chat.
It's called Skiga Kide. Can you spell it?
Yeah, please.
It's TSUKI. GAKI. Skiga Ki REI. It's all one word.
Oh wow. Okay.
So Skiga Kide is a term written by Natsume. What was his name? He's a famous writer, and it's how he translated "Isn't the moon so beautiful?" And it's a way to say I love you in Japan. So like if you look up at the sky and you're both looking at the moon and someone says, isn't the moon beautiful tonight? If you respond, yes, it is, you're saying I love you too.
Okay.
Oh,
isn't it pretty? And like now that you know that, you'll see it. It's in so much anime. Like there's so many times in anime where they'll be like, isn't the moon pretty tonight? And you'll be like, that's a weird thing to say. But like that's where that comes from. It's another way to say I love you.
Thank you for brightening my life with that, because I have actually seen that so many times, and I never knew that meant that, and that's just so heavy.
That's
and
what it
awesome
means.
and
Natsume
beautiful.
Sosuke. That's the guy that wrote it. Natsume Sosuke. Anyway, it's a really great show about two really awkward teenagers that are falling in love for the very first time ever. And it's the first time I ever worked with Brittney, because I used to call her in for bits on it, and that's how I met her.
Yay!
When you went in to do your audition at Funimation, you picked Yamada's first time as your side.
Yes, so you could pick up to 3 sides, and what I read online through my intense Google search was that you should pick things that show your range. And so I was like, all right, well, Yamada is a teenage girl, so I will use that for my teenage girl range, and then like I'll pick a voice, and then I'll pick like my normal, natural resting voice. And so I did Yamada, and like my take was something like, the journey to banging 1,000 dudes starts with a single kiss, or like something not as good as Brittney's. But I've seen it. I've never seen it, and so I had no idea what like your take on it was, which is probably for the best, because I'm sure I would have just like badly imitated it otherwise.
It was besties for resties, man. It was fate.
It was fate.
It was absolute fate.
That's so cool. I love to learn how small the world is. I think it's a concept that we need as like a human people right now, is to realize that we are so much more connected. Like Rachel got to meet Caleb today. I was fortunate enough to do a tech run through with. There's the product placement. I guess I'll complete my product.
Coke Zero for the diabetic in your life.
For the
Siemens Corporation. That's where my husband works.
What?
Wow. Hey.
I think that was a different endorsement.
If it was earlier in the morning, it'd be an absolute zero monster.
Well, he does drive a big white van.
As long as it has windows in it, as long as that's what. Whenever we're describing like the van, we'll be like, "Oh, meet us out by the van." Oh, but it has windows. It's not like the windowless one where you.
It's not a scary van.
Yeah, it's not a scary stalker van. You were like, "It's not a scary stalker." I was like, now you said, it
has windows in it. Yeah, so like. I'll be like, Brittney, when we pick everybody up for dinner, we'll be in the white van. Just please be sure to tell them it has windows.
Next time you do that, I need you to like pull up and be like, "Hey, do you guys want some candy?"
There's some matches in the bag.
we have puppies in the back.
There really is from the road trips. There really was.
That's all of that, and then there's no seats in the back, so you're like, it's just getting worse and worse and worse. Like as we talk about it.
I love it.
I'm more and more scared with each passing moment.
I know. I'm like, now she'll never go out to dinner with us, Brittney. She'll be like, "Are they?"
It's actually wonderful.
I'll be like, "Ooh, my mom warned me about this."
I'm not allowed to get in these. My mom told me, like,
in this situation, I'm the worst human being. I'm like do it. I'm like,
man, that's amazing. So. What was your? So we know Brittney got plucked off stage doing the Rocky Horror Picture Show. You got plucked out of Artist Alley doing, and you started. What was the first anime that you acted in then, Kristen?
Well, the first anime I did anything for was called Haganai Next, and I did background voices, which is a really common place to start when you're brand new to the dubbing world. So I did background voices, and I played like this bit character. She was like the female announcer at a theme show. My first recurring named role is actually Hinano from Assassination Classroom.
Yeah.
Really? So
yes.
That is so. Oh man, that's really funny. It just occurred to me that Eov is a huge fan of both of you because. Assassination Classroom. There we go. I'm pointing to the right cube on the screen. Assassination.
Wait. Oh yeah.
Assassination Classroom is one of his absolute favorites. And then Rachel, I heard Rachel talking on stream earlier that Reincarnated as a Slime is the first. Well, both of them, Assassination Classroom and Reincarnated as the Slime, are the first times that we've ever really seen Eob be like, and then next episode, and then next episode, and then yeah. So like, kudos to you. It took me a long time to watch Assassination Classroom. It's essentially the same episode over and over again. We know that you're going to try to kill him. We know that it won't work, and we know that there like goofy things will happen in between. But I had a hard time like continuing on in the series until I noticed Eob kept watching, and then I wanted to be like a good dad and watch what my kids watch and be supportive as a father. So there's a lot of feelings in that anime.
There's a lot, like, I don't know, it covers a lot of topics, and it's funny, you know, and stuff like that. And I'm really jealous that Sunny had a character that had no flaps most of the time. I'm sure that was nice.
Just record whatever and like never had to match anything to anything.
Speaking from Rimuru, yes, it is fantastic.
So I have a confession to make that I will make publicly for the first time ever. I had a dream that I got cast in Assassination Classroom before it happened.
Are you serious?
I'm serious. So it wasn't like I didn't like have a dream that was like, Kristen, you will get cast in this specific show. But like it was a dream, like in the dream, a bunch of us had been called to like this Coliseum because that's where voice actors meet in my dreams, I guess. So we went to this Coliseum, and the director for the show was there. His name was Joel McDonald. And so like he was there. Like I had no idea that this show existed or that we're going to be cast in it. So I was like there in this dream in the Coliseum. And Joel was like, all right, so here's the rundown. Thank you guys for coming. I basically cast you in this show, but it's a long commitment. It's going to be like 7 months. Can you guys commit to that? Now, to someone who was only acting once every couple of months, I was like, 7 months of work. Like, heck yes, this is the best dream ever. Like, so I woke up, of course, and was like, oh man, it's just a dream. And then like 6 months later, I get called in for like a 30-minute session. I thought it was like a bit part session because it wasn't very long. I go in and Joel's like, hey, I'm glad you're here. And he starts telling me all this information about the show. And I was like, man, this is a lot of information for like a bit part. Like, why is he telling me all this? And he's like, so anyway, you're going to be playing this character. And I was like, oh my God, this is like my first name role. I was like, be cool. I was like, awesome. I'm really excited to be a part of this. Thank you so much. So like I do it, blah, blah, blah. And like I leave, I get in my car and I was like, oh man, I'm so excited. And Joel's like, hey, oh yeah, I forgot to tell you, this project is 22 weeks long. So you can't go out of town. Like, you got to be available for the next 22 weeks. And I was like, 22 weeks of work. And then it got a season 2, which was like another like 23 to 24 weeks. So altogether, it did end up being like 7 months worth of work. And that was my prophetic dream about being cast.
That's awesome. So it wasn't really a dream. It was a premonition.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, everything happened except the Coliseum part. Like,
okay.
I guess.
I mean, but what if like the new office when you go into it is the Coliseum or something? You know what I'm saying? Like, what if like somewhere in the future that part just hasn't happened yet?
Although it is a show about training assassins, so maybe the Coliseum was foretelling that.
I see what you mean. Like,
okay.
In a Coliseum.
I wish now I could remember who else was in the dream. Like, there were definitely other people there, but I can't remember. Like,
and you were there. And you were there.
And you were there. And then you were a squid monster.
Have you seen Lego Movie?
Yes.
Okay, so like when you were saying that, and then all the voice actors gathered in the Coliseum, I was like, and then all the heroes gathered at the dog, and I'm like, yeah. So anytime somebody says the word gather, I'm like, we should all gather at the dog.
I gotta get the Lego Movie, man. Like Caleb makes those really cool Lego figures. They're so awesome.
They're amazing. Both of you had hangouts with Caleb, yeah?
Yes.
I'm saying like
he told me that they take like 6 to 7 hours.
Yeah,
like it takes 5 hours for him to design it.
Yep.
And then it takes like, you know, he has to like cut out all the pieces, and like if the hair has to be painted, he has to paint it, and he has to like paint it and let it dry, and then paint it and let it dry. So it's like some of those figures must take like up to 10 hours or something.
And they're so good. They're so legit.
And
Ben Oscar!
And him. Oh, I've just now see that his profile picture is big enough for me to tell that's Monica hugging him in the background.
Yes.
That's awesome. I love Benjamin. He's amazing.
Everybody loves Benjamin.
Yes,
Yeah.
for sure. and I can totally tell, like, when I hear the shout outs, like, he always gets shout outs. I'm like, oh, man, it's Benjamin. I know this, even before they say it. Like, so awesome.
I feel like Ben is one of those people that when you find out he's going to be at a con, like, we as the guests get excited about meeting him. Like, I met him at ColossalCon East last year, and he was like, I'm going to be at ColossalCon East. And I was like, I get to meet Ben Oscar. I get to meet Ben Oscar. Like, I was so excited about it. I was rubbing it in Cliff's face. He was like, I want to meet Ben Oscar. I was like, but I get to meet him first.
Yeah.
I love it.
Martez is another one of those guys. Even Tyler's talking about Martez in stream. There's so many, like, guys, our community, I'm just roll calling on stream as we're talking, just because this chat is blown up with, like, some of the coolest. Xavier's my favorite. He comes with, like, a list of questions, and he sets his own timer for Hangouts. Like, he legit,
Oh my God.
he hangs up on people before I can. He's like, all right, it's been great talking to you. Thank you so much. Goodbye.
A buzzer goes off.
You're like, we started a minute late.
Oh, it's so great.
Awesome.
Oh my gosh, so much fun. I
tried to open up the chat and it goes so fast, guys. I can't even. I'm like,
I know.
Oh, how do you? I'm going to open up the chat.
And
I
if-
put it on the right, but then I'm like, oh, maybe I should have done that because now I'm just like, oh,
There's so many people there.
oh, there, chat's
Wow.
no, don't worry. That's the job of the moderator. We got you. I'm just.
You gotta put it up so I can see.
I'm trying to give like a. I try to keep mentally like where I'm at in the time stream on chat, so I can go back to. Because if I type in a comment, sometimes it'll like shoot me to the bottom. Like, oh, what time was I at?
Thank you, Travone, for watching the butt anime.
Oh,
The butt
Trayvon,
words.
I did hear some butt talk about Reincarnated as a slime that Brittney said in one of her hangouts.
It's literally butt talk.
It is literally butt talk. She's not
Actual
wrong.
butt talk. It
It's-
is talking like a butt.
It is a butt with slime flaps.
I need to go ahead and let everyone know that inspiration came from Cliff and his excellent direction. And he was saying I was like, man, I want him to talk like a butt. He was like, I think we should talk like a butt right here. But like, you know, it's like beep, beep, beep. And I'm like, I can't come up with anything. How does the butt talk? And like, I didn't do anything. And then Cliff was like, I think he should be like jowly, like a jowly Nixon. And that, I mean, honestly, like, I think afterwards I was like laughing super hard, and I went down in the booth, like you couldn't see me anymore, like I was laughing just on the ground, but they weren't laughing. It was just me who was really enjoying this moment.
Man, I never know when I submit those scripts what's gonna happen afterwards. Like I submit them and I'm like, well, off you go. And then like it'll come back like sprinkled with magic 10 times better. Like
I used to always text you and just be like, okay, that line was gold. That line was hey diddle diddle, there's no fiddle. I was like,
yeah, that was a good one. I worked hard on that one.
that was a really good one. There's a lot of them.
I Googled a lot of names that day for men's private parts.
Seriously, almost all of my favorite lines were just straight out of your brain. Like, and those are the ones that, like, when I talk to people about slime, I'm like, these lines, this is or like, what do you want me to write on here? And I'm like, I'm going to give you about 500 options.
It was all good in the Goblin Hood. You liked that one.
Yeah, it's all good in the Goblin Hood, Holy Hooters. I'm not a bad slime slurp. You know, that one is the classic from, you know, the show, Awesome Sauce. What else?
That's also just something I say.
I know. And now I say it just because I love it so much that it's like ingrained in my brain now.
I forgot about Holy Hooters.
Slife
was good. But I think Slife was in the sub, so I think I stole that. You know, don't ruin a good thing. If it's not broke, don't fix it.
The thing about the Holy Hooters that was so wonderful really for me was that, like, you know, when you record and it like pauses right afterwards because you get the like a little bit before and a little bit afterwards and that's it. When it paused after I recorded Holy Hooters, it stops on Chion's face and Chion's face is like, oh. and it's only for a millisecond. And if you're watching the show, it doesn't really stop. It's just like, holy Hooters. Oh, and that's it. They start fighting again. But it paused for me. And that was another time when everybody's like, all right, it's not that funny.
Well, what's fun about that scene was everyone trying to guess who voiced who based on like Shion's like gasp, which is all she said. And they're like, I think it's this person. I'm like, guys, you just heard a gasp. Like,
all you heard was that. How could you know?
It's like, you'll see. I knew. I couldn't talk about it.
Hey, some people actually did guess, which was like really impressive.
Sometimes people are like, I picked you out as this little boy in this anime, and I'm like, your hearing is impeccable. Like,
all I said was, oh, I don't understand.
Like, I don't even remember doing that, but you're right, it was me. Like,
have you ever heard yourself in something from like a long time ago, and then we're like, you didn't actually think it was you?
Sometimes people bring me things to sign, and I'm like, I was in this? Because, like, especially, like, at Funny, like, they're like, oh, hey, you have 5 minutes in this booth. And you're like, all right. And you go in there, and they're like, you're a goblin stabbing somebody. And you're like, yeah. And then you, like, leave. And that's, like, all you did, but now you're credited in it. And, you're like, all right, well, I guess I was a goblin in that show.
I know, there's times like, I'm not in this. And then I realized later, like, oh, I was in it. And I'm, like, an episode and I was there for, like, a whole ep, and I just didn't remember it. Like, not very long, 14 lines, the character doesn't talk, or something like Special A, I forgot I was in, because the character literally doesn't talk. She has like 2 lines. She's in every single scene. She's just in the back.
But they don't talk.
Yeah, and so I had no idea, about it. I totally know exactly what you're talking about.
And you don't know what's going on because you only see the parts where you talk. So they're like, remember that thing? And you're like, yeah.
Yeah, you know what? Okay, when we were doing the One Piece movies, a character named Moose came back. I didn't remember voicing Moose at all. It must have been at the very beginning of like one of my first times I ever went to Funimation at the old Richland Hills location. Like it must have been a long time ago, and it must have been one of those days, you know what I mean, where it was like a big long day and I was there for a little while, because I don't remember it. And when I heard it, I did not think that was me. I was like, are you guys sure? You sure it's not mislabeled? Because that doesn't sound like me at all.
You're all like, oh no, I now have to recreate it.
Yeah, it was interesting. It was interesting. It was fun, but I literally tricked myself. I was like, are you sure?
Someone asked me the other day, they were like, were you a little boy in this scene? And I was like, yes, I was. Good ear. Like, I was like, I don't remember that.
I had that experience with David when I went to go see the DBZ movie. I was like, I swear David Matranga is in this Dragon Ball Z movie, like the Broly movie. I was like, and wait, he's that character? Wait, what? I was like, I swear I just heard, wait, okay, there's David again. And then I started like on Twitter, I'm like, David, I know you're in this freaking movie, but I've gone through the credits and I can't find you listed anywhere. I don't know where he gets it, but like he screenshotted me. He seriously had 7 additional voice characters, like under additional voices. So like I was hearing him all throughout the movie because they just kept using him for like Soldier 12, 9, Angry Guy 13. Like, yeah.
Sometimes they do that. There was an episode of Servamp where I played like 3 characters. Like I played like an adult woman, a little boy, and a little girl. And I was just like, well, now I'm 3 different people in this one episode of Servamp because this is what I'm doing today. Like, tend to be different. And so like sexy
those are always the most fun Wallace sessions though, where you get to really like exercise and act in just a small amount of time. You're there for like an hour, but you got to play like 5 different things, and that's fun.
Yes, and then you're like, you get to kind of show off what you do too, which is like a lot of fun. You're like, listen to all these different things I can do. Like we did right before COVID happened. We did a Wallace session. I did a Wallace session for Tabitha Ray, and like they were like, we can't do Wallace sessions together. Everyone has to go in there separately. And so it's like, okay, well, usually there's like a group of us like playing off of each other. And she's like, all right, it's a minute of like crowd screaming. So it's like, all right, well, I'm gonna be a boy. And then it's like, and now I'm a girl, and now I'm like a hoity-toity woman, blah, blah, blah. And she's like, I don't even need to hire actors. I could just get Kristen McGuire to be every character. And I was like, thank you, Tabitha, you're so sweet. Like, I was like, if only that were true. But I was like, wow, this is a great opportunity for me. It's like an audition, like a paid audition.
Now, is that Brittney, I would imagine because you have to be so many different kind of musikas, do you get like, you literally just get to go off the wall from one end of your spectrum to the other to be like all musikas?
Dude, this last one was another Misaka.
Yeah?
Her name is Dolly.
Oh,
I was like, I'm an extra, like another one, brand new. It's like, man. And then it was like, you know, recording in the closet and doing the thing, you know, like doing the home recording kit where you're like pretty much putting it all in yourself. And so it's weird because I kept like doing reads. It sounded like Last Order because it's in like the same age. You know what I mean? It has to be Last Order, but like a lot, but more like vacant in personality, like the clones and like the rest of the Misaka sisters. And so it was like a really strange balance to try to find a middle in there. And there was a lot of takes, I must admit. Some of them were like 6 takes.
How many Misakas are there?
do we know?
I don't even know. Like, okay, so 10032 is a clone. We know that there's some clones after and before. Then there's Last Order and Dolly and Misaka Worst and regular Misaka.
Oh, there's I know, gosh, is it Index? At some point the number is stated. Like Railgun season 3 goes into like it's the first time that I was like, oh, I guess I didn't know that Misaka didn't know there were clones. Like because I had watched Certain Scientific Accelerator, which is like him and like lots of Misakas, that I guess it didn't occur to me that the Misaka, Makoto Misaka, doesn't know that there's all these, like, that was a time warp for me. That because I watched, I don't know what order I'm supposed to watch them in, but I didn't watch Accelerator until.
I don't think most people know what order.
Nobody knows the order. You know, Philip, there is a guy that I know, his name is Philip, and he will give you the order like printed out. But It's one of those shows, that like honestly the order is all over the place.
It is. Okay.
It's one of those.
So I'll have to go back and watch, or if somebody can save me in chat because I still have a ton of stuff I have to watch. If someone can save me in chat and tell us from Accelerator how many Misakas there are, I'm pretty sure he states it because I think he keeps track of how many he's fought and killed in Accelerator.
This conversation tells me how little I know about this world.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You know what? Like it is. I feel like I know a lot more than a lot of people, because I've been with the role for so long and I still am confused. I'm still confused.
I am always very impressed. When I hear you talk about it, I'm like, I've been watching it. I don't know anywhere near the number of stuff that Brittney knows about this world.
Complicated world, man. But you know what? In the same thing, I don't know nearly as much about slime, even voicing Rimuru in the series as Kristen does because she wrote it. So,
I do know a lot about slime.
Good.
Yeah, she's like,
I should read the light novels and the mangas.
Slimepedia? Slimepedia?
Slimepedia? I like
Slimepedia.
If you want a Slimepedia shirt, you just let me know.
Slimepedia sounds like a strange cave bug that they found.
I'm sure I'm gonna write that in there somewhere. It's gonna be in season 2, Slimepedia.
It'll be underneath the mangas. And all the mangas that Rimuru creates, and then underneath them somewhere in the corner is the Slimepedia.
Man, I've got a lot of reading to do, with season 2 coming up. Part of me wants to go ahead and start on it so that I'm not but then I'm afraid I'll forget about it from here until when I have to write it, But God, I'm so excited.
I was so kind of upset that it got moved. I was like, no. But then I guess it's probably good. I guess
I'm a little upset, but. So we'll get to start 2021 with 9 straight months of slime because that'll be cool. It'll be the 2 cores are split. So it's the first half of the first core and then it's the Slime Diaries, which is a fun spin-off version, which now I'm going to have to read the Slime Diaries because it's a manga. So I'm cool, more slime manga for my poor bookshelf.
I am so excited that there's a spin-off though anyway. So
I am too, but it needs more Milim.
Oh, okay. Hey, there could be a whole spinoff just about Besties for Resties, and you could call it Besties for Resties.
That would be fantastic. Let's get Japan on the phone right now.
Yeah.
Wasn't that a part that you had to watch over and over because you had to get the crowd, even though there wasn't the right amount of flappage, right? You had to come up with something that they could all say.
Okay, so what had happened was So sometimes with the slime translation, they'll say things that like don't necessarily make sense because like the only person not from that world at the time that we know of is Rimuru, right? So Milim is the one who says besties in the translation, but I was like, well, that's really weird. Like besties is such an Earth word, and Milim is not from Earth. That I don't like. I feel like she would know what a best friend is, but I don't think she would slang it to besties because that's not really something
right from that world.
Right? And so I was like, well, how do I do this? Because I was like, I feel like besties is a thing that comes up a lot. Like as I'm continuing to watch and things like that, I was like, so how do I keep this but not make Milim be the one to say it? And I was like, I got it. I'll have Rimuru say it first, and then I'll just have everyone else pick it up. But I never imagined that when I did that it was gonna like take off like so phenomenally like across the internet. And Besties for Resties just happened to fit the crowds like flaps and stuff. And I was like, it works. Like they will just mimic it back to him because that's how they work. And it just worked out that way. So the hardest part was just writing it in a way to where like Rimuru said it first. There's also a scene later on where like in the Japanese, she says, Seifu, which is a baseball joke. And someone asked me, they're like, why did you write out the baseball joke? And I was like, because Milim wouldn't know what baseball is. Like, I don't, and so I wrote it out to where like, it's good, it's all good. And he's like, no, it's not good. And I was like, but unless Rimuru has introduced baseball at some point, it didn't make sense to me that Milim, having never seen baseball, would know out or safe. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like my job as a writer is like to keep the world consistent at all costs.
Yes.
Yeah, honestly, like that's a hell of a job. Like
right?
The number one thing that you hear from critics or fans that are watching is like, oh, this is an inconsistency, this is a glitch, and like to hear you talk about like how you're working through that, like that's so freaking brilliant. Like mad props to you.
And then there's this golden moment of I mean, you got to watch that moment again. Now you'll know all the work that she put into it for Besties for Resties.
Besties for Resties, yeah.
I love that.
And it's like, it's just one of those things, like sometimes people are like, I missed the baseball joke, or like, how did you come up with this? And I'm like, I just wanted the world to be consistent.
I just wanted to make sense.
I just wanted it to be good in English. So I have a whole notebook of like things of like who says what, who's connected to where. Like it's like a one of those conspiracy boards, you know. And I'm like, this person is responsible for this person, and it's like they won't even let anyone else write slime. They're like, only Kristen can write it. They're like, because she's the only one that knows everything.
How many shows do you work on at one time as a writer?
2. Typically 2. Things are a little slower this season. We've had a lot of delays due to world events. But typically we work on 2 a week. So when I was writing Slime, I was also writing, I think, Kono Oto? Tomare? Gosh, I can't remember. What else I was writing. I was so immersed in Slime that I literally don't remember the other show I was writing at the time. Okay. I have to go back. Maybe it was Meiji Tokyo Ranka? No, it wasn't.
It wasn't as good.
I was just like, Slime took all of my brain power.
I wouldn't say it, but I'm like, if she can't remember, then
you know what, man? Slime is legit one of my favorite animes still, and you know, it's still holding a really special place. I really like it, and yes, exactly because the scripts are gold, and it was just a fun show.
Well, you know what? I thought it was weird when I heard earlier, Brittney. I heard you say like it wasn't very serious. Just before I muted it because I don't like spoilers because I want to watch season 2 and love every minute. And Kellen Goff ruined season 4 of My Hero Academia for me. So now when I'm moderating, I'm like, oh, spoilers, mute. And then I'm like, is everyone's face okay? Okay, we're good. Like, I'm just trying to read facial cues so I don't like get the animes ruined by the manga. But
are you talking about Railgun? It was Railgun spoilers, or was it Slime? Oh no, it was Slime. Oh, that's terrible. Yeah. That spoiler was bad. It was good. Actually, it was good in the best way.
Okay.
I like spoilers.
Well, that's what I was like. You brought it on. You're like,
no,
yeah.
but the spoiler was bad, not because it was bad, because it was a spoiler, but the content of the spoiler is like bad within the context of the show. It's like, oh, that's going to be a terrible thing that happens in the show. Not that the spoiler was terrible. I asked for the spoiler. I requested.
Yeah, you did. You were like,
I like begged. I love it. I love when I get to get some way far away ones because I don't know when they're going to come in.
I know a lot about like the future of slime, and like the things that will happen and stuff like that. And like there's really exciting things that are gonna happen, like with Milim especially. And like I finally saw like official art for this thing that's gonna happen for Milim. And I was like so excited. I was like, she looks even cooler than I thought. Like I'm so excited for it. I'm so excited for season 2. It will be darker, it won't be as funny, but like that's when it's gonna be good.
so
Yeah, I heard it's gonna get dark. It was one thing that I heard. I was like, oh, that's sad.
Yeah.
To me, like reading what Jameson said, like that's why I love slime so much. To me, what was revolutionary for me is, man, is it ahead of its time. Like what we need in our world right now is Rimuru. Like, right? Like, let's be honest. Rimuru is unwilling to write off a group of people. Rimuru's like, but I bet we could just be friends. Like, I know you want to kill them. I know you want to take over their people. I know you think the goblins are bad and this race is bad. But like, she's like, well, Rimuru's human form, is that meant to be?
Rimuru has no gender.
Right. Okay.
It's genderless.
Yeah.
Yeah. So slimes are genderless. The monster slimes are genderless. Like the ability to transform is a slime thing. That's not like a Rimuru specific thing. That's just part of being a slime. Yeah. But they have no genders. And so when Rimuru transforms, he doesn't really have a gender. But Rimuru, I would say, identifies as a male, like because he talks about himself in like the he sense and stuff like that. So most people call him Lord Rimuru. But in the light novel, he's often mistaken for a girl. They even say his voice sounds girly.
Yes. But I think that that's probably what's even, if I'm being honest about like slime at the base level, what's even more spectacular about it is in being androgynous, in being like without a very specific gender identity. It allows each of us to bring ourselves into Rimuru's like mindset and like we're able to see the world through Rimuru's eyes, wherever we identify in the spectrum of gender, because of the androgynous nature of Rimuru, and because Rimuru reverts to a slime and is just such a good being that each of it allows, like, it's really spectacular. So I like when you're like, oh, it's fun and this and that, and oh, it would be cool to have some serious, like, to me, every time Rimuru reaches out and says like, no, let's save them. Let's save them. Let's save them. I would love humanity to have that. Let's see what we can have in common first. Like Rimuru will beat up whoever Rimuru needs to beat up, but at the end of the day, the goal is simply to say like, okay, now that I'm the best, we're all equal. I'm making everyone equal. I whooped you, great, whatever your leader as a warrior, but now we're equal. And to me, that's a powerful message, and I think we could use that right now. Yes.
Yeah. Rimuru also is always building community and finding ways to improve and make it better. And also Rimuru, like I've said this before, but Rimuru's life didn't used to be that great. And if I was reincarnated, I can't say that my goals or like my intentions would be the same as my past life of just like, I'm just going to be a good guy again, because it didn't work out the first time that well. And you know what I mean? And so I probably would have been like, oh, how do I become a demon lord? I'll do this evil thing now. I guess I'm just going to get reincarnated anyway. So whatever. I mean, because Rimuru's aware of reincarnation now. So like Rimuru chooses to be good and take the difficult path anyway, because it's difficult, but it's right. And that's what's so cool about Rimuru.
Right, and he never like set out for that specific, like, I'm gonna go and like rule all these people, you know. It's very much like just like, oh, these people need my help, like maybe I could figure out a way to help them. And it starts small with like the goblins and bringing the goblins and the direwolves together, and you know, and then like it just sort of expands out, and like pretty much everyone he meets, he's like, all right, like how can I help, like how can I help? And like it's really cool to see like that build and expand and things like that. And everyone like sticks up for each other. Like even when Milim gets there, she's like, no one picks on like my bestie's subordinate. Like, and so it's really cool how like even though they're all different, there's now like now they're living with orcs and now they're living with this and now they're living with lizardmen. And it's like, but they're all living together. And like, that's really, really cool that they're all able to just be like, all right, well, we all have like one purpose, and that is to like make our lives better.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's honestly I hated Frozen 1. I hated it. I wish they would just go back in canon and just delete Frozen 1. But Frozen 2 gave me like one of the greatest philosophies I'm going to live by, and that's just do the next right thing. Like if you can't see yourself all the way to saving the world, then just do the next right thing. Don't worry about next week. Don't worry about next month. Don't worry about November. Like whatever comes to you next, just do that next right thing. And if we would all just kind of like think globally and act locally, like we would all be better off as a people if we'll just, I feel like so many of us are defending a narrative, and that when somebody brings us a fact that disrupts our narrative, like you see this all the time in politics, people like they'll defend their narrative. A fact will be brought in front of their face, and they'll just continue to believe that way that they believed 10 minutes ago, even though literally the facts have changed. And if we'll stop trying to defend our own narrative and just do the next right thing, I think change would happen at a greater rate.
It'll be interesting to see what Rimuru does in season 2 with like that same mindset, and whether or not that mindset will like change or whether it will continue, like based on events and things that happens to him. Like, based on what I know. But of course, like reading it is one thing and like seeing it all play out is another. So I'm really excited to see all these things like brought to life as they continue to grow and learn and expand.
Yeah, it sounds like Rimuru is going to go to some dark places in the future, and it'll be interesting to see if he still keeps that mindset going those places.
It makes me really sad to know that we won't get it in October. Like
I know.
Well, because and one reason is like nobody wants to see an anime they love get delayed. But in terms of the history of what's going to happen in our country in November, like we could really use Rimuru in October just to remind people. Right? Like
let's just go for Rimuru.
Vote for Rimuru! Rimuru would be an awesome president.
Yeah, I'll take Rimuru or The Rock. I'll take one of the two.
I mean, I'm kind of fine. I'm fine with either one.
John.
Or, guys, hear me out. We vote for Milim.
Okay. I mean, Milim is better than like any nuclear weapons. So that's legit. I say, okay. Vote for Lola.
Lola for president. I would vote for Lola.
Oh, I love it. So on that note, I want to make sure everybody knows how to get to VIP. The VIP streams through, oh my gosh, the Colorworld VIP only Facebook group. If you need to get in there, now is your chance to go and request that. We have the people behind these walls ready to accept your invitation into the VIP group.
There we go.
If you haven't purchased anything yet, but still want to go to the VIP, please do so now. And we have 28 minutes until VIP starts. So Kristen and Brittney are going to go stuff their faces, go to the bathroom, do whatever they need to do in the next 28 minutes. And then we'll be back in front of the VIP only. Remember, the VIP is where we take all of your questions. Like every one of your questions, you probably realized that I ignored 100% of the questions in the stream. That's because we want to be good to the VIPs, and we really appreciate all the support. It affects us a tremendous amount to not be able to do conventions. It hurts us like big time. And so we want to show love and appreciation to everybody for all your support. And so the VIP is just us taking all the questions you can think to throw at us. So Kristen, thank you so much. It has been awesome to get to. I just hit autopilot. You two are really besties for resties.
Yeah.
I like our Brady Bunch thing that we've got going on. I just want to be like, and this is how you became the Brady Bunch.
I'm like, it can't be like Slimy Bunch because that's weird.
The slime.
You're a good slime.
Oh.
Hey, bring your gamers questions, guys.
Oh, they're there. I just think it's extreme. They were there. So
Good.
all the questions. And Keijo, I love Keijo so hard.
Yes.
I saw that mentioned. Keijo's one of my favorites. Oh, thank you, Patrick. I appreciate it. Okay, everybody, we're gonna give them a break so they can eat and get watered up and ready to go. I am out of water, so I'm gonna go get some more. We'll see you guys at 5 o'clock Central Time. I can't remember what that is in every other time zone. 5 o'clock Central Time. And we will see you in the VIP. Thank you guys so much, and we'll see you on the next stop.
See y'all soon.
Bye.